If you've been considering moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area, I've got some news for you. This video right here, you have to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you at all, it is incredibly hot here. It is November and it's not incredibly cold, but the summers are miserable. Actually, the summer that just surpassed here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area was the second hottest summer ever recorded in our entire history. Now, another major concern for a lot of folks that are looking to move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area is hailstorms and really are just ridiculously crazy weather that we have here. Now, this is a traditional style home in Texas, traditional style composite roof. This roof traditionally will last maybe 30 years, but I can tell you in the state of Texas in general, most of these roofs are not gonna last you 30 years. And the reason is because of hailstorms. Now, in addition to the crazy hailstorms that we have here, be careful with the cars that you leave outside of your residence. I can tell you firsthand, a crazy thunderstorm actually wound up having a tree fall on this car because I myself was not smart enough to put it inside my own garage. Now, another con to living here or potentially moving here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area is the crazy, ridiculously aggressive drivers that we have here. And one thing that you can't avoid here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area is not driving. Now, you could definitely seclude yourself to your house and never really go anywhere, maybe use Uber Eats all the time for food, but truth be told, you have to drive around our metropolitan area to really get anywhere and do anything. So if you don't do well with crazy drivers, probably not the best area for you to move to. Now, another thing that may be a con to moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth area are toll roads. Now, if you're from a smaller city, such as myself living originally in Eastern Washington, I didn't even know what a toll road was. My entire city that I grew up in doesn't have toll roads. But when you have a larger city that just has generic freeways, but it's a large city, such as the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're gonna have them start to implement toll roads. Basically opportunities for people to essentially pay to get somewhere faster. Now, if you work and need to get to work at a certain time, you don't care what you gotta pay, you're gonna pay it to be able to get to work on time. And the bad news is you could wind up paying hundreds of dollars a month in toll roads. Now, a lot of feedback that I get from folks, especially in California, Washington, Colorado, is the scenery. Yes, we're in a beautiful location down here in downtown Dallas, but generally speaking in Texas, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, is we don't really have any hills. We don't have mountains, we're straight flat here. So what does that mean for you? Well, if you're an outdoorsy person, we do not have any trails. Now, yes, we do have some, but if we don't have any hills, any of the trails that we do have here are very weak, really, really weak, especially when you compare it to these other states that have extremely large terrains, high mountains, so on and so forth. We just don't have that here, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And another thing is the walkability, or I should say the lack thereof. Now, if you've been to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you've probably been well aware of the massive size of our metropolitan area. Now, if you've not been here, I'll just be honest with you, it's massive, it's huge. You don't really walk from one city to the next. You don't really walk from one subdivision to the next. You have very little walkability unless you are in a large master plan community. There's a great one out in Prosper called Winsong Ranch. You're more than likely only gonna get a small park such as what we're filming here today. Other than that, you're not gonna get a ton of amenities, you're not gonna get a ton of walkability. And I can tell you downtown, there's just honestly no walkability whatsoever. And last but not least, and I'm gonna tread a little lightly here, is the politics. Now, this may be a pro or con, depending on who you are and where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, if you don't align with a lot of the politics that are ongoing here in Texas, it may not be the right move for you.